Hello there. How are you? My name is Paul. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I'm feeling this call today to reach out into the universe and into the energy and make some declarations of who I've become and what I found, and make that an invitation to the Divine Feminine that's ready to join me in this adventure that I'm going through. I'm going to start with, I spent most of my life, I waited until I was 30 years old until I met a woman that I could marry, and it was kind of like a biological clock thing. I know women has a biological clock, but it was also that I had to have children. And I didn't choose a way just to have children. I chose a way to have love, to start into sexuality. I grew up Christian, and I waited for the one, the beloved, the whatever you want to call it. I don't declare them the one anymore, but I do know there's a woman in this world that's done similar work to me and is maybe had a divorce as well and has her children from the past, and these are all beautiful things. But I'm ready. I spent a lot of time being alone. And I wouldn't say I was lonely. It was like there was a pull to more. And I had the most crazy experiences. Like I said, I waited until I met my supposed one, a beautiful woman that was ready and said all the right things. And she was quite open and sexual till the point that children came. And then some trauma showed up. And the shift from wife or married to motherhood became a complete and total focus to the children, which is all right. But despite repeated conversations about my role, I wasn't just a caregiver and a guy that had the house and fed the kids. I was a man. I had needs and desires and other things. But she had been traumatized early in her life, and she would never talk about it, but it happened. And that was almost 15 years ago now that I had to end that marriage. It was the best decision I ever made because I was literally dying. I was giving myself everything of myself to my kids and my wife, and it wasn't the right thing, because my needs weren't being met. And despite being asked for some of my needs to be met and other things, it was basically to the point of begging as a man, which didn't feel right. And I did everything right. And I could do nothing about the trauma if she wouldn't talk about it. So I moved back into bachelorhood again, which tore away all the things that I built, a house and all these other things, and the marriage had to give them up. We were both okay with the divorce. I don't know what the amicable, there's the word I'm looking for. Yes, it hurt, and she was sad and scared and other things. It kind of fucked me up too, because I lost everything, left it for her and the kids so that they could have a house and limited impact and other things, and I rebuilt. But as I rebuilt, I found myself. The decision to leave a marriage was one of self-love. I was giving everything, and I was trying my best to be something that I was not meant to be. And that's not just a servant of the family and other things. It's a man, and I want to be in his creation and in loving play with a partner. Well, that didn't work out, but I made a choice to do it in a way that was fully in integrity and was very happy. Later, it took me, like I said, 15 years, and I love myself. I can say that with absolute truth, and I won't give up myself to please someone else when they don't even know what they want. And I know the partner that will show up knows what she wants. She knows and has done her own initiations and awareness and and burned down those bridges and maybe had a divorce and had children and lived a similar experience. But I know I'm ready. I know I'm ready. So much in my heart and soul. I'm so happy and excited to make this declaration because I'm not a wounded, hurting man. I've been through so many weird and negative experiences with feminine that were all shadows of my mother and my past and other things, and I've forgiven them all. I've let them go and I moved out of them and set them in really strong boundaries now. Not that I force anybody to be anything, but just really simple agreements. Like, if you feel something, you have to say it. If you have a belief or you're wondering something or whatever, talk about it. And I have to return in integrity and state clearly what I want and ask you to do the same thing. That's so simple. That's, as far as I'm concerned, what love is connecting with a person, knowing that they've got some shit in the background, knowing that that person will talk about it, knowing that when they're feeling it, they'll bring it up and they won't hide it and tell lies to make themselves feel safe. We can work through it together. And that's so instrumental. But I've been able to do the work myself and gone through so much of this stuff myself. But there's stuff that the connection, the into me see, and I'm not talking about sex, I'm talking about vulnerability and awareness and talking with a partner about our fears and misgivings and insecurities, and finding somebody that talks about theirs in return, not in codependence and commiseration, but in see me so we can be free. The most amazing thing about having what turned into a sexless marriage from my past or whatever is we then go in down that rabbit hole and research. And I've taken so much training in sacred sexuality and other things. I know that the things that I'm called and want with a partner are initiations, are part of our growth, part of our change, part of our uplifting and healing of our nervous system and other things. Not that it's all about sexuality in any way, shape, or form, but it's an important part of any connection with a partner, and especially our play for our inner child and the fun and the excitement all through consent and getting to know the nervous system of another and knowing and trusting that person, if something shifts or they're feeling uncomfortable and a trigger comes up or whatever, they'll talk about it in the moment, not whip you with it afterwards and complain that you weren't listening or reading their energy, when we've all been trained to lie about stuff that scares us. But the person that can start to say, this feels uncomfortable, this feels scary, and that can be me. And I'm in touch with my emotions. I'm very grounded and a very overall happy person. And I faced a lot of stuff. I've faced a lot of persecution and other things. I'm a man that talks openly about sexuality, a process I called awakening through sexuality. And some people overhear it from the corner when there's no consent and they haven't been even part of the conversation, hear me talking to other people consensually about it, and then they're not okay with that. And I'm some kind of predator and I'm some kind of person that causes harm. No, just don't listen. If it's not with you and the conversation and the consent's not there, you're going to get burned, sadly. Because talking about stuff that has triggers for all of us and is connected to all of our traumas is the most important thing we need in this world. And I do it every day. Not because I got to feel safe and I'm one of those men or something like that. No, I'm a man that's finally in this light and clarity and appreciation of the divine feminine. So I welcome you. I welcome someone that's done the work. I welcome someone that's been through their own fire and is ready to find somebody that's done its work and is ready to open and to shine and be in love and be in vulnerability all the time. And that's not a normal man. And it might be intimidating, might be scary or whatever, but let's talk about it. Because a lot of people want that, but when a man approaches and can handle his emotions and other things, it might be scary because that man hasn't existed for a long time. But there are men doing the work, and I'm one of them. And I'm ready. And I'm ready to step into sacred relationship and find a partner, a single partner, not polyamory and not games and not communities that get confusing. I'm ready. You can probably see it in my eyes. There's a lot of love here. I'm not a typical man. I pride myself on being different and better, but in a loving, vulnerable, truthful, completely honest, there's nothing I won't talk about way. Maybe you're the same. I welcome you to come have a chat. I'm hoping that it's going to be somebody that's going to be nearby. I'm not going to have to travel all over the world to get to know them, but there's a plan, and I'm following through with it, and here's my part. So if I'm intriguing and that's interesting, DM me. Let's talk. I'd like to find out some of the same about you. We might be surprised. Something magical could happen. Loving you. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.